So friends, today we have a really fascinating adventure to the world of tattoo. So here we have my friend, the fucking very moment to forget my friend's name. So we have Vita here and I'm with you. Okay, so today we gonna make tattoo. Oh, by the way, here you can see my previous work with dragon and palms and everything. So the talk not about Vita and about we'll have two parts. The first you can see right now. You are watching this, and we will talk about sharpness in tattoo. So for my opinion, I think to show the all quality of the picture on skin that is really difficult. So one really important moment that is sharpness. They should be somewhere really smooth and facility, and one color flow into another one. And some moments it should be cut with, really sharp border there. So I'll show you and describe everything and explain you why and how I do that and why these moments are really important about that. So about softness I'm going to talk you about. So I have another one, so here you can see that link for gradient and other stuff. So here another information that is not actually linked with that. So I'll show you all practice moments here. Instead of others, I really want to appreciate Vita because Vita always helped me with interesting projects. So he always asks me to do what I don't want to do with others because it's really difficult to do that with people who don't want to. He does new school as I do, so I give you all the links. I will be very, very happy if you support him and ask him for tattoo. For the beginning, I'd like to just outline everything without any kind of explanation and just outline it, and because last session, it was really long, so we only did sharp outlines, and now I just want to outline it all and show you everything. Тут на самом деле он уже ничего не говорит, уже делает, просто я потом, So I did much more. I colored some paints to show you literally how we'll do that. So here we have these parts I'll cover it. We have really cold, gray parts here that flows into warmer color, and they really lose that coldness here and coming into something red and more orange here. So we need to show you the same effect there, where the gradient flowing into something warmer. So I'll do that, the same thing with this curve here. How can we do that? We should rate, do I have this gradient or any tints there? So if you have something really dark or something bright, we should start with something darker, because if you do dark tints later, it will really spoil everything bright there. So and you can easily color it up, on top of it, and it won't actually spoil, and it's really easier to do that gradient softer. It won't spoil it much more than you do when you color and start from the bright. So here we have that dark curve here, dark border corner, that flowing into a really bright color. So we'll start from here, from the dark. So the first color is really cold, it's really dark, it's something gray with black, so we're going to flow it to some darker tint, mix it with others, and do that really, like patient and slow. I do that like whip shading here, but just because it's really, thin line here. So I can really color it like here with circle moves, but I really need to color it like that, flying out like I do with whip shading. So I can actually take that gray and overpaint it with orange here. So this part will be really dirty, just swamp of porridge, just orange covered with gray, blue, will really like have a swamp texture. You will have all pixels here, and it will be really visible and not actually beautiful. So and actually we need to avoid that. So firstly, if that gradient really let us not to go with wide or broad, So does it really frame? I don't need to wash the tip here. I have some, remains of the previous color, and I'll add the next color I need here. So I'll try to red it out. So actually orange and blue are not really, we cannot actually mix them. That is not actually blue, that is gray. So these two are really look good with the red between them. So I need to use the red between them to mix them tight, without any kind of sharpness. So I don't need to put that one, I need one darker, not to do the darkness scatter. So I take some and mix it with the previous color with new one. So I can actually wash it out and take some red to the clean tips. So I don't need that to be like any errors there. So I want to do that like more, something more purple. So it's really easier to mix purple with something gray here, so this transition will be invisible and you cannot actually notice it even if I'll show you that closer. So for now I want to wash it out and take the red, and probably I'm not sure that I want it the same dark, maybe I'll mix it with that one. Maybe more red here, and then I begin to color it over. So now it's really look good with the previous one. It's because it's not actually gray, now it's more purple, so I just color it over and overflow it down there. So I just color it with usual round moves. I don't need to do any kind of dot work or whip shading here, so I just do it more, flatter here. So I don't need to do that sharp and cut like here. You don't need to take it to do that from here and go over and up. You don't need to break it all up. You just don't need to add some gradient here and move like that and add more colors. You just need to choose wisely. So that is really enough red here. I don't want to put it down more. So and every tint should be on its place. So this part should be just orange literally. So we have orange here and here orange. We need to do the transition here. So we need some place for it. Again, I can really wash it out and take that color, or maybe I'll add some next color with previous one when I just put the pedal on. So it will be really balanced, intermediate. So I can do that gradient, not that sharp, and don't want to do that, really pulled up. So maybe I'll add the same color, red with orange. It will be the same red, but warmer and brighter. Absolutely, it goes just perfect with the previous one because it has the same color in this composition. So you do that without any kind of problems here. Then I remove it and skip it and take that is color and color it over to the border of everything we got here. So for the sake what I do that, for the clear orange here in the end, be softly adjacent to red tints, because red can be actually colored over orange, but you'd better not risk and do that, through that bright red-orange color between. So now our main color, the brightest orange color here in all holes, and make the brightest objects here. Then we can highlight them. Also, I colored it over the previous colors, and sometimes I can actually go further with it, like that, but do that really quick. I don't need to color it slow, I just do that really quickly and to shade it slower and not to injure it that much. But the upper layer of skin that is actually, more easier to, it's more open for the paint, and I can do that really easier and quicker than before when clear skin used, So what do we have here? I need to wash it out. Okay, now when it's washed, you can easily see that beautiful gradient here. So fresh, so clean, so actually beautiful, without any kind of, errors here. So we have red here, just between gray and orange here. So it's better to mix them. You take that intermediate color between, your finished results and mix it with first, and intermediate with the last, and intermediate with the first one, and the main colors for the ends. That is not actually difficult to mix all those tints, because when you actually mix them with the previous colors, they don't let you do that pixelize when you connect these tints, so it's really easily to do. But that's not everything you should know. We have another moment here that is real difficult. So the very difficult moment is that sometimes you cannot actually do these thin lines bordered with outlines from both sides, and you need to do really big pictures where you need to color those gradients more, and with a lot of layers, and each time fill in the previous color and not washed out from the tips and adding some new. You cannot actually stable proportion and have the same color. So each time you will have different tints and different colors. If now we had gray and blue, and we add some red and got some purple, and how do you know that you can do the same color? So if you add more red, it's just more reddish, so with more blue it's just very cold, so you cannot do actually that really soft, and actually cannot do that really smooth. So this line here, I can really add some color to tips from that, but I don't want to be risky, so I can show you how can I work in this case. So I'll begin from this rib. I'm going to outline here and do that highlight here. Okay, we can highlight it with the gradient. So I do that as whip shading, technique here as well. So then I color another one on it, just open it onto it. So, but the reason and the main point is not in that. So we begin from the bright tints here. So we're going from the bright to orange. So that is not actually difficult and not actually important to do anything different here. So I won't take the brightest one. So the brightest one is almost white, It's just, white with some gray, but it's actually really nasty, so I don't want to use that. So now I'd better take something metal tone like gray, and I'm going to shade it away like that. So I don't want to work, when I work with big parts, I do some really wider moves, so I don't want this border to be actually stretched much more than here. So we have two variants here. So we do that more smooth, layer under another one for it to be easier to show that gradient technically. Or we can just, color it with those cut pieces here like I did here. So, but we need to do that with tints, not with technique. With these three colors here, when I do gray tints, I can take just tints that are pretty the same, like here and there. Yeah, these two, they're not actually identity, but for the skin they are pretty the same. So when I color them together, that is the same color, so I don't need that. But when it's really big gradient there, so you can just do that easily, not thinking much about how to do that carefully. So that's really easy to do that with these. So in certain sequence, when you wash it out and it will look soft. So I changed my plan here a little. So if I'll do something more like skin tone here. But I really understand from this, blurred gray going to blurred dark skin tone. So it goes like pretty dark skin tones. So here that is a really tight piece, and that part that is not actually tight, so we can see those pixels and not everything here. It's really sharp, and so the main thing here that is really triggering me, so it look more reddish from the needle because it's really injured. So with these moves, they're really more colored because skin are just more red because of blood. So I do really want to mix them and do that, you know, to try to add something here, just in between of them. So I'll probably mix it with that one, and here I have some middle tone here. So that will be really enough to, you know, color that part here. So because I cannot actually take the same tint here and color it again, so we have only one chance, one attempt here. So we try to do that in one, you know, move with one attempt. So because it's really will be difficult to mix pretty the same color. So it's pretty, you know, grayish purple color. So that's really cool gradient here. So I'll need to wash it out. So it's really smooth, as you can see, going from, so it's really red here, a little bit red because of blood, you know, because it's injured. So I cannot actually show you the result, but just believe me that it's really difficult to understand here where is begins gray and where is that skin tone. So I don't know how to call it, but we need to do something dark red from the skinnish tone. So I'll do that transition here, like here, much longer than before, till here, probably, yeah, but I do that smooth as before, as you can see. So the main thing here, that is these blood splashes here, I cannot actually do that in one line, in one movement, because I really need to avoid every corner here. Do that really carefully. As you notice, when we do gradient, we actually need to color one layer on another one. So if we do that like that in one line, in one movement here, so and color further here. So that is really cool, but you know, how can you do that gradient here? So if you really need to do that gradient, you really need to put one layer on another one, just believe me. So that's why you need to move your hand much more than you do usually. So it's injured more when you do that layer on layer, but it's really cool to do that secondly or third time. Further, what shall we do? So here is a moment when I cannot actually do with the previous colors, mix of colors. So now I'll try to. Red should really look cool here, but I'll try to do that softly. So I'm not actually sure now because I don't have some middle tone between these, between that red and purplish tone, you know. And I don't want to search for it because it's really long. So here, a little part in here, so I'll try to begin with red and color it like that. So another moment here, I'll explain you. I won't actually touch red with the blood because it will be actually squeezed and destroyed. I don't need that. So I do all these things with red and don't touch the previous, you know, purple skinny tone. And I'll be coloring it over red one, so it's really easier to color bright tone over the dark one. So I'll show you. I won't actually be, you know, polite with Vita. So what will happen if we try to color that one on red one here? I'll try to do that here. I have enough skills to do that, so I'm not giving you any kind of advices to do that. So that is purple, that is red one. So I'll try to take the red and color it over purple. Maybe it will be better than on big one, but I'll show you, we'll try to look. How will it look? So it's still red because of blood, but I'll try to show you. So you can see, talking roughly, you can actually see that, really smooth transition here and here. So I need to, flow it and stretch it, pull it much longer and much more, so I injure the skin really a lot. So that's why I really need to avoid those red dots here. Now I'll show you the variant coloring red over the purple. I'm doing it, just bump it into purple one. Do it like here, like, sharp and cut and maybe ripped. Not to have any precise borders, in the gradient. Believe me, they will jump out just from the very beginning. Washed out everything from red, I take the purple one. Purplish tone, so it's really difficult to color bright tone over dark one. So you really need to probably do that twice or maybe 30 times, but try to not over-injure that skin because it's really dangerous. So I forgot to do that here. Actually, I like this variant much more because here, I don't know if you can see that with camera, but I can actually see here that real border and some pictures, some pixels there, so on this picture. So here that is really smooth and soft. Actually, I don't like because this part is really injured a lot and so it's becoming reddish because of blood, so I don't like that. Because that blood color will be in this gradient, so it seems to me that I actually did much more, red than I should, but actually, yeah, that is dope. I like that. Okay, looks cool. Especially for those, why do you do red background for the blood? I actually do that from, dark red to orange, so I really need to pull it up on this, skin tone or something that we have here. So red one that is really middle tone here, so I maybe added some and then pull orange over it, so it's really easier here because in my own palette all these colors are picked up, so even to this red and this red orange tone, so I will just wash it out and color it over and over again and don't think much about that. As you can see, I just take that reddish orange here. So they really look cool together, so you cannot actually see the difference and catch it. You just really need to do that really smooth, not to see those pixels here. By the way, so these colors, red and red orange, that is colors from my set that I really work with, so you don't need to pick them up, search them, you can really buy them from my set. So it really depends on people. So some screens I really do that cooler or hotter, maybe more saturated, as you can see here. Kirill is playing with camera. So actually you can buy the set and you will get all the colors you need, so probably this year I'll do that. So now we'll continue to color it with red orange and with orange then, and that's really easy. I don't actually need to tell you more, so you understood everything that should it look like, so I need to resume. So we do that all with colors, each layer on previous one for not to be pixels there. Probably you'd better do that with, correct searched and found tints there for it to look generally like mixed and without any kind of difficulties and mistakes and pixels. So don't be afraid of, coloring it over and over, layer on layer, because it's really cool experience to do that, but I cannot actually explain you everything in that. It's really tactical experience, you know. So it's really depends on your personal experience, so it works so. So that is everything. So next day we'll film what we colored there. And further, I'll show you how to do these sharp moments there. So that is not actually that obviously that as you think, so maybe someone knows, but I really think that I should show you. Okay, bye bye, see you.